Being from a marginalized community, myself, being a two-spirit person, being an indigenous person, I know how scary it can be to access care from the healthcare field.
El Dr. James McCaughey no es un doctor típico. Es el único que atiende a pacientes transgénero en Enoch First Nation, en la reserva de Cree en Alberta, donde habitan 2,400 personas. Muchos de sus pacientes viajan hasta 8 horas y caminan varios kilómetros para ver a este doctor dos espíritus que los hace sentir seguros.
Two-spirit is a contemporary English term to reflect gender diversity that Indigenous nations have always had.
In our language, we say nadla. So nadla means like ambient being. So if you think about energetic forces inside a body, it's like these two forces that oscillate back and forth. So it's not just male, it's not just female, it's male, female, back and forth all the time.
En los últimos 3 años, el Dr. McCaughey ha diseñado una manera única de dar atención a los transgénero al unir la sabiduría indígena y la occidental. Aunque su mayor contribución es la apertura que tiene de su propia identidad.
James has helped me accept myself because he accepts himself. He made me feel comfortable in my own skin.
I don't know what other doctor can help a young boy become into a Cree warrior man.
El Centro de Salud Enoch, o Masquekosik, que significa donde crecen las medicinas en Cree, se encuentra a 30 minutos de Edmonton, la capital de Alberta, Canadá.
Just getting to clinic. This is where I usually keep my stuff. We don't have much space here, so this is kind of how I make it work. That's my little locker.
Aquí es donde el Dr. McCaughey atiende pacientes desde las 9:30 a.m. hasta la tarde.
Trying to make it GLBT friendly, so we have some rainbow stickers everywhere. This is the washroom, so it's a gender neutral washroom.
Y como muchos en Alberta no pueden acceder a la atención para personas transgénero en otros lugares, vienen aquí, a la reserva Enoch.
So Leah actually has a really important part of her story where she was in a darker place and it was very difficult for her not accepting who she is as a trans woman, and that's something completely different where she is today. When did you start on hormones?
October 26, 2018.
What are some of the changes that you've noticed?
I just feel myself finally. My anxiety has gone down. I feel happier. I feel like I'm complete or on my way to be complete. I lived in fear and secrecy.
Being born in the late 50s and growing up in the 60s, 70s, there was no internet. There was no one to talk to. And so I carried a lot of this inside. I can recall many times in my life where I actually thought of suicide, and I'm glad I never acted on it.
They can just breathe normal now.
I come from a large French Catholic family. I always knew I was different. When I came out to my family, or let them in as I like to call it now, there were some painful things said to me, but they were all true. Painful things like I was always withdrawn, downer to be around. I accept who I am, and I am Leah, and I've always been Leah.
Some of the challenges of doing transgender care is fear. Fear within the medical community that we're harming patients, fear that we are hurting children or youth by disrupting their development, and fear because we're actually changing the physiology of people.
Desde que era adolescente, el Dr. McCaughey vio su identidad Cree de dos espíritus como parte de quien era, pero las cosas fueron diferentes para su esposo Anthony. Cuando se conocieron, él todavía estaba lidiando con lo que significa ser dos espíritus.
As Indigenous people, we have always had gender diversity and sexual diversity in our nations before colonization existed on Turtle Island. With the imposition of colonization, Christianity, residential schools, the 60s scoop, a lot of those teachings of gender diversity have been lost, and a lot of people are searching for their identity as two-spirit people and the roles and responsibilities that come with that.
We're often like, oh man, what is it like not to be Native? Because other people are talking about trips or nature or whatever, and we're like talking about, you know, opioid crisis, we're talking about suicide, we're talking about, you know, very difficult things that we deal with in our community.
Para las 4:30 de la tarde, el horario del Dr. Makokis está más que saturado. Se dirige hacia el centro médico South Common para tener citas de corrido hasta las 8 p.m.
All right, so here's our clinic in South Common.
Es el único especialista que puede prescribir hormonas y otros medicamentos para personas trans.
So we're just going to get settled in and then start seeing patients right away.
Para él, todas esas horas de trabajo valen la pena.
Remind me again, you've been on testosterone for...
Almost 3 years now.
Yeah, 3 years. And then I first started seeing you when you were 11?
Yeah. Remembering my very first testosterone shot, it's almost like it happened yesterday. It solidified that I'm going to be here. That gave me hope.
He told us right after he turned 11, really nonchalantly. Of course, we reacted as it was normal and we were expecting it. Actually, he used the word gender dysphoria, which I had to look up afterwards. He wanted to be known as a boy, acknowledged as a boy, and he had a list of names for us to help him pick to transition into becoming a man. Emery was bullied from the ages of grade 1 to 4, and so he had serious bladder issues because the bullying happened in the bathroom. It took Dr. Makokis to advocate and really respond and acknowledge that the physical issues my son had was a result of my son holding his bladder from bullying that happened for many years in the school.
Being two-spirit in my community means that I am fully who I am. I'm not shy about that. I don't pretend to be someone else. Two-spirit people are very gifted individuals, and they can do many different things if people don't stifle their growth and development.